Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon Part 28 for the Nintendo Wii. And in this episode, we will continue on through Amouri's dungeon.
That is dark. The kids are leaving blood on the seesaw.
Yay, we leveled up again.
Yeah, we leveled up.
And don't worry about the kids. They're small children and we're a white mage. We can heal that.
It is refreshing, sobering actually, to hear Amouri talking about like things that actually matter.
I don't know about actually matter, but somewhat matter.
See your gods!
An anti-poison saddle. That has got a seal on it, which will allow us to have our future saddles to have immunity to poison.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, poison is not a relevant status element. A relevant status element for us to get afflicted with. I'd much rather have anti-confuse or honestly, anti-rust is the big one, and I think we already have anti-rust on our saddle. I'm not sure, probably not.
It reminds me of I believe it's called the Amulet of Alacrity or the Amulet of Resistance. 100% resistance to poison, 100% resistance to disease. I think even rarer versions of it also had 100% resistance to paralysis.
Now that's a Skyrim item, right?
I think I found that in Oblivion. You can find some ridiculous shit in Oblivion.
We got hit with a silence trap. Thankfully, status elements don't follow us in between floors. Or do they, Mr. Cloud? Indeed, they do not. So what's new in the world of Cloud as we continue through Amouri's dungeon?
It is stupidly warm out today.
Well, to be perfectly honest, at this time of year, I'd rather have it be stupidly warm than stupidly cold, because it's supposed to be stupidly cold outside. But it being stupidly cold outside is, difficult to prepare for, as well as difficult to work around, at least in my case, because I don't have a winter coat at the moment.
Extra layers would come in handy. Well, it's really what really kicks you in the ass is the wind. It's always the sheer cold brought on by the wind, and it's coming. Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time that this little warm pressure cell is going to disperse among the colder regions around it, and it's going to, cause the vacuum effect in the opposite direction. Now, what does X Potion do? I don't think I recall.
X Potion is the upgraded version of the High Potion. I believe you'll find it cures... Oh, is it 500? I think it's either 500 or 1,000 HP. Normal potion is 80. High potion is 200, I want to say. Maybe 160. Now, but here we have a new enemy type. The Tonberries. Tonberries are worth a lot of experience, and they much like tortoises, are constantly afflicted with slow. But... they also hit really, really fucking hard and are almost immune to magic. So, again, Rage Talons. Rage Talons have the seal that allows our melee attacks to do additional damage. It is very important that you remember that, because I don't actually remember what the calculation is for it.
Tonberry doesn't say much, does he?
No, he does not. But that is because he is an undead frog.
Undead frog wizard.
No, he's not a wizard. He's more or less a chef.
He has the hooded. He has the hooded outerwear of a sorcerer.
Thankfully, Tonberries in this game are notoriously low. Have notoriously low total HP numbers. So, assuming that you know not to use magic on them, you should be okay.
that you shouldn't use magic on them, but physical
Yes,
attacks
because
are
they have
okay.
very high magic resistance.
Gotcha. Well, so he is a wizard.
No, he isn't. He is an undead frog. That is why he has magic resistance.
Because he's undead. Gotcha. The magic is too strong.
Actually,
in these
majority
Tonberries.
of the other undead enemies in Final Fantasy are actually weak to magic.
Amouri is
because he's a
receiving
frog.
gifts from each of the gentlemen in town.
Yes, Pastor gave her a brooch. Pastor Roach gave her jewelry of some kind. I think Dardola gave her a significant amount of food, and Deet was just an asshole.
Right, indeed. I mean, I could write a book on just that. Why guys are assholes to girls. That's why, you know, we'll just leave it as a thing right there.
Ooh, more appraisal glasses.
Oh my god, he's coming.
Very slowly, because that's what Tonberry does. They slowly creep up on you. It has been established since at least Final Fantasy VII that Tonberry enemies have relatively low agility, a really high physical damage output, a high magic defense, and
they're really slow.
yes, they're. I don't know if they were slow in Final Fantasy VII because I never made it that far in Final Fantasy VII, but I think they were relatively slow in Final Fantasy VIII.
Which would make sense, because while living frogs would retain agility, maybe the spontaneity in order to jump when it seems appropriate to, the undead frog is just a big pile of crap waiting to die.
I would like that because it is a Phoenix down.
Phoenix
So I
down.
decided to use it now.
This music is pretty intense.
Coral Talons +2. Yay. That'll save us a little bit of cash.
We got angels on our shoulders.
No. They have rusted my steel talons. The bastages.
rust. They're rust proof.
Ooh, sleep talons. Sleep is honestly an interesting steel to have on your talons. I personally don't think it's all that relevant, but it can be, you know, it can be something. It can be something worth considering.
Okay,
Come on, Tonberries.
get over here. Kick. And
There. This is Pascal not sure if he wants to continue exploring the dungeon or not. He has decided to continue exploring the dungeon.
this is Leon S. Kennedy wondering whether he actually did climb up the high tower in the village in order to confirm that he got the spinal that was up there. No, the shotgun shells. Because I noticed that the Tonberries kind of remind me of how I used to fight the Gnados. You get them to attack by running into them. As soon as they start attacking, you back up. They miss, and you got plenty of time to destroy them. And that's the Tonberry. He's very stupid.
I wouldn't personally call Tonberry stupid, but then again, I'm rather certain that if Tonberry ever attacked me with everybody's grudge, I'd probably take, you know, 700 points of melee damage. And I, being a normal human outside of a video game world, probably do not have 700 total HP.
That is a philosophical question I have not yet explored. How much HP do I have?
Well, shall we actually explore this then?
I mean, I honestly, I would say I would probably be on the low HP, because in most games when I played, when you're at half health, you're at yellow health. When you're at 25% health, you're at red health. Normally, as these statuses apply, bad things start to happen. And that's how I am. It's that when I'm weak, because I'm hit, I go down quickly.
Alright.
On a relative scale, I think is where it would matter. So, I don't know. I mean, is it like height or how much you weigh?
To be perfectly honest, I think that if we're going to correlate HP gains specifically to real-world logic, then the best game to rip the formula from is probably Final Fantasy II. I know that everyone hates Final Fantasy II, and they're not alone in that. I hate Final Fantasy II as well. Stupid, way too grindy bullshit that doesn't work until over halfway through the game. But in Final Fantasy II, in order to build your stats, you have to actually utilize your stats. So in this case, you would increase your total HP by either taking physical damage or otherwise restoring your HP via cure spells or items of such.
I agree that leveling up based on usage is pretty relatable. I think that's why I dug the Oblivion formula at the time when I found it. It made sense. You should get better at things just by doing them.
Yeah, but then you realize that that's how a lot of Korean MMOs lock behind a majority of their more interesting content, by having you do repetitive actions over and over again until you have arbitrarily reached the correct stat thresholds.
I guess it depends on the reward. Maybe if they didn't make the reward so goddamn essential, then people would not do stupid bullshit like running into a corner for 2 hours while putting a rubber band on it because there's a guy in the other room whom you're sneaking around who's actually contributing to your sneak level.
This is the Assault Scissors. He has got a shitload of physical attack strength, if you will. He also can inflict the hold status,
but he's dead.
But he has relatively low magic resist, so hit it with Holy Dia, couple auto attacks, and collect your 2,000 gil. For the record, I would much rather have had him drop the Talons drop that he can. At least I think he can drop a particular Talons drop, probably like Mithril Talons or such.
If anyone is potentially wondering why there are gunshots in the distance, it's because I'm recording near a shooting range.
Ah. Hi, Irma.
What? Hello, nurse.
Volg already hinted at this, but yeah, Amouri is actually a amnesiac Irma. When Irma came to Memoria, she suffered a serious account of amnesia, and because no one other than Volg actually knew her, she was unable to cure herself of it. She's yet to actually interact with Sid.
I think, okay, well, now that I know that, now I'm wondering, why are they both in the same time if they're the same person?
We all went through the same time warp, dude.
Oh, right, there was a time warp. Okay.
As we'll learn later, it's a time-space warp, but, we're not supposed to know it's a space warp yet.
I remember everything! Who I
am
really
powerful and I'm gonna kill you!
And who I was in this town!
Please note that Irma has already changed her clothes.
Amouri? Are you kidding? That cutesy stuff makes me sick!
And this is a corrupted version of the Chocobo theme.
Well, Irma, that by itself wasn't
because I gotta admit,
Volg, she is going to strangle you.
Ruffled my jigglies.
Get it out of your mind right now! And get out of here while you're at it! Please! I'm begging you! Just leave me alone!
She doesn't understand who changed her clothes. She's scared.
But yes, you are required to do Amouri's memories in order to progress with the plot. Because after doing that, Raffaello shows up.
I've come to understand that when there's a cutscene happening, it's plot important.
Oh, hi, Chocobo.
Hey,
as a
Raffaello.
pretty general
That was pretty
game rule.
nice. Chocobo, can I tell you something?
It's okay, Raffaello.
I really hate myself, Chocobo.
Okay, that is not okay.
I mean, Sherma is always so nice to me, but all I can do is make her suffer.
Not on purpose.
Bella told me that that's called self-loathing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that is the self trying to destroy itself, which is antithetical to having a self.
What? What's no good?
You're not supposed to loathe yourself for things you can't help, Raffaello.
Well, you're not supposed to loathe yourself for any reason. Just
Self-loathing
kind of
is no good?
accept the bad things
Yeah.
as well as the good
Bella
things.
said the same thing.
Stella is a smart person, Raffaello.
There's just
He is a
no
teenager
way
indeed.
to make myself
He's
loathe.
having really stupid problems.
Why couldn't I be normal like everybody else?
Because you are not like everybody else, Raffaello. You are Raffaello. That is who you are.
Attack him! Peck, peck, peck.
Peck, peck, peck.
Stop! You're tickling me!
Squeaky. Giant bird pigeon.
Chocobo, you're tickling me!
And most awkwardly suggestive scene in all of Final Fantasy goes to...
I finally got it!
Locke interacting with Terra for the first time. Oh, I'm sorry.
Later,
It appears the voting was corrupted by something else.
I was so happy. Just feeling how soft and warm and kind-hearted you are. I was laughing hard, out of sheer joy.
Okay, we have successfully dismounted from
Yes,
Raffaello.
this is called having fun, Raffaello. This is how many human beings and lovers have fun.